Good evening. Well, thank you, Barkha. Yeah. And thanks to all of you for coming here today. So this day is special, and I thought let me just take this opportunity to speak a little bit about Seagull, especially the 26 years we've been in. So at Seagull, we've been very fortunate. We've been working with early stage companies. Some people like to call them startups. Now the trend is founders. And it's always been fantastic because every time you work with a startup, and today when I introduce you startups, so when we started working in about a few years ago, when Prime Minister Modi came into power, the concept of startups was young people who just are fresh out of college. Okay? Today, that concept has changed a little bit. The concept of startups is people who have new ideas. Essentially, the ideas is about bringing about a change. One thing that we find with startups is always about challenging the status quo. So whether it is shooting, where we have Anjali Bhagwat, Mandar, Indrajit and Ninad, they are in the first row. Yeah? And when I get a chance to even speak a little more, but the whole idea was, why should shooting as a sport be so exclusive? I can ask you in the audience, how many of you have actually gone out and done some gun shooting? Those who have, please raise your hands. Yeah. So from about 40, 45 people here, we have about 4 or 5 hands being raised. So only about 10%. And how many of you have been doing it frequently? Ajit, one hand. Yeah. But if I ask you, for example, how many of you have been playing badminton or swimming or tennis or football? And I'm sure many of you who choose to can continue doing it as much as you want. Yeah, there are those facilities. And here is this team from Fandook who believes that they can change this. So change the status quo is what they've looked at. There's a very inspiring story when I see in terms of Amol and his co-founder Nikhil, all the way from USA. They're trying to change the status quo of cleanliness, hygiene in India. Yeah. Again, that's the thing. And when you speak to him as well, and of course he's going to be speaking, and later on you can interact with him, you find how he's trying to challenge and change something which is a concern. And many of us are on this side. So, many times we spoke to Amol, you say, Amol, but this is India, this is how things are. But the passion in him has never reduced. It's always been that I want to bring about this change. Yeah. And the third founding team that we have, I'm sorry I've been asked to stand a particular pace, but the Redemption team. Where's, Shrikant, everybody, Bipin, Dimak, Pradnya. And it's been about crypto. And when they spoke to us about crypto, the first thing I thought, Are Bapre. Now what are these guys up to? Yeah. But right here, and this is the spirit, and he said, and when I looked at it, and typically when things are spoken about, especially when you think of something like crypto, what our eye goes to is what can be wrong with it. And what I understood from Shrikant and team, he said, what's good about crypto? So how can we preserve the good and do it right and still ensure that people, and many of us desire to look at innovative new things, want to invest in an asset class which is totally different. And we know many examples, many people across the world who benefited from crypto. So why can't we enjoy that? Yeah, and that's that particular story. So this is part of the work that Seagull does, and it's our vision, where we want to launch and grow brands. Yeah, and definitely to do that, we need an ecosystem. So what we've done today is even invited a few more people whom I think can contribute to the ecosystem. Right now, this ecosystem is kind of loosely connected because growth cannot happen by a single company or a single agency like ours. It needs more people. And this particular evening, I want to thank Anil and Harsh Pillai for their connects with Wispy and for the beer that a few of you, lucky few, are sipping. Okay. But we hope that we can conduct more such activities. We can empower new businesses, new ideas, new brands. If you were a startup or an early stage company, the best time is now. Yeah. The Indian system is growing. Startups are recognized, prestigious. We have 100 plus unicorns to the last count from India. So this is a prosperous time. I also urge and request all these launched companies to remember the few of us here when they become unicorns. Right? So it should be a both way kind of a game. So thank you all once again.